All right, so we're diving into a story that comes from a travel journal all the way back in the summer of '99. And look, this isn't just any trip to Scandinavia. This is really a journey about connection, connecting with friends in the present, but also digging way back into the past. And trust me, what they found along the way was pretty unexpected. Yeah, that quote really says it all, doesn't it? Something more. For the couple at the heart of this, Randy and Linda, this was so much more than just hitting the tourist spots. It was a real personal expedition. You know, the kind of adventure you plan for months with a goal that's way bigger than just taking a vacation.
So their whole adventure really boiled down to two big things. Two powerful motivations. You could almost call them two separate but equally important quests. One was all about friendship, and the other was all about family.
Okay, so let's break that down. Quest number one, the friendship quest. This was all about reconnecting with Mia and Anne. They were two Finnish exchange students Randy and Linda had hosted 5 years before this trip. And then there was the family quest. This one was a deep dive into Linda's family tree, trying to trace her Norwegian great-grandparents who'd come to America way back in the 1800s. I mean, talk about two powerful reasons to pack your bags and fly halfway across the globe.
So the journey kicks off in Finland, and it's time to find Mia and Anne. Now, Randy and Linda had this hilarious nickname for them from back in '94, the Olympic shopping team from Finland. Apparently, they were pros. But now, you know, the tables had totally turned. Randy and Linda were the ones being hosted. And wow, the hospitality they received was just incredible. Their hosts pulled out all the stops and gave them the full Finnish food experience. We're talking cloudberries, lingonberries, dark bread, smoked salmon, even reindeer meat. And my favorite part, they were introduced to Finnish vegetables, which it turns out are sausages. You gotta love that.
Their time in Finland was just this whirlwind of warmth and generosity. They started out with the Henriksen family in Tornio, and from there, they even made a day trip up to the Arctic Circle in Rovaniemi. Then it was south to stay with the Karhunen family in this beautiful lake district called Kuopio. And to top it all off, they explored Helsinki and even took this wild catamaran ride over to Tallinn, Estonia for a day. I mean, they were really making the most of it.
And this quote, it really gets to the heart of their whole time in Finland. You know, sometimes there was a bit of a language barrier, but it didn't matter one bit. The connection they felt was instant, it was real. That kind of warmth, that kind of welcome, it doesn't need any translation, does it?
Okay, so friendship quest? Check. Beautifully accomplished. Friendships are deeper than ever. And now, the whole journey shifts gears. We leave behind these heartwarming reunions in Finland, and we head to Norway, where a family mystery is just waiting to be cracked.
Right. So in Norway, the vibe totally changes. It's less of a reunion and more of a full-on investigation. Randy and Linda are basically history detectives now, following this trail of clues, just hoping to find a connection to Linda's family past.
And then you get one of those moments that just changes everything, a chance meeting. They're in Oslo, having dinner with some fellow genealogy buffs they've met online, and boom, a huge breakthrough. One of the guys, Ole Kilseth, gives them some advice that turns out to be absolutely critical down the line. It's amazing how things like that happen.
But of course, the search wasn't all smooth sailing. There were definitely some bumps in the road. Literally. On Friday the 13th of all days, Linda has this really nasty fall in their hotel. She's badly bruised, and it makes traveling so much tougher. But you know what? It did not stop them. They were determined to get to her ancestral town of Voss no matter what.
And Voss, this is it. This is the place where all that research, all that planning, and all that pushing through the pain, it all finally pays off. This is the moment where names on a dusty old page suddenly become real, become personal. So where did they find the final clue? Well, it wasn't in some big city archive or a stuffy government office. No, the key to unlocking this whole mystery was hidden inside something else entirely. A very specific, very local kind of book called a Bygdebook.
So you're probably asking, what on earth is a Bygdebook? Well, think of it less like a regular history book and more like a super detailed chronicle of a small region. It goes farm by farm, family by family, documenting who lived where. For someone tracing their family roots, finding the right Bygdebook is literally like striking gold. It's the treasure map.
Okay, so get this. This is the big moment. They're meeting with Inga Leland, this 90-year-old woman from the area who has the Bygdebook. And as she's looking at Randy's research and comparing it to the book, her eyes light up.
She starts recognizing other family names on their chart. And just like that, everything clicks into place. It's this incredible moment where 100 years of history just evaporates, and Linda realizes she's sitting face to face with a distant cousin. I mean, can you even imagine an absolutely unforgettable goosebumps moment?
So with the family mystery finally solved, they could just breathe. They could finally soak in the incredible landscape that her ancestors called home. They did this famous Norway in a nutshell tour. Think buses winding through valleys, boats gliding on the fjords, and a train ride that climbs almost 800 meters. It was a way to connect not just with the people, but with the very land that's in her blood. So as their trip starts to wind down, it's so clear that this was never just a vacation, right? This was a mission, and it was a mission accomplished on every single level.
Just think about it. 3 weeks, 3 countries, Sweden, Finland, and Norway. They packed what feels like a lifetime of memories into that one single journey.
Remember those 2 quests they started with? They absolutely nailed both of them. They came home with friendships that were deeper and stronger than ever. And that family history, it wasn't just a list of names anymore. It was alive. It was a real story, tied to real places, and amazingly, real people they actually got to meet.
You know, a story like Randy and Linda's is such a great reminder that our past isn't always as distant as it seems. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What kind of incredible connections, what forgotten stories are just waiting to be found in your own family's history?